Yeah, they're raising over $1 billion on stock. So, all right, so we're live. So, good morning, everybody in the live trading room. I hope we're waking up to a good Tuesday. And for anybody that celebrates 420, hey, have a great day. I personally don't, but to all you out there, have a good one. There's a lot of price action today, and I'm pretty excited. I think today's gonna be a really solid day. Let me start off with the SPY. Let me pull up a daily chart here. As you guys know, we've been shorting the SPY with puts. I started my original puts on April 9th, added on April 14th, added again on April 16th, added yesterday. Yesterday I took profit off of half of the position, and today we're gapping down, testing the daily AMA. So needless to say, we've been managing the position pretty well, and we are getting the pullback. We are sitting on the daily AMA, so and the market is gapping down. We could see a bounce in the market, or we could just see the market kind of trade sideways for the day. Depending on, you can see the SPY popping a little bit here. So depending on the price action of SPY, if SPY wants to reclaim yesterday's closing price, honestly, it's been a battle shorting the SPY. I might just close out my swing on the SPY puts. I've made money on them already. I've been managing it. We've been telling everybody in the live trade room how we've been managing the position. So as long as SPY doesn't go above 415.21, I'll still hold on to my puts. But if it breaks out of that, and let's just say the market just decides to rip, bouncing off the daily AMA, let the market rip some more, and we rinse and repeat. We can short the SPY again if it hits 420 or like whatever the prior high was. If the SPY starts to break down and breaks below 413, then yeah, I'm holding on to those puts, baby, because I would love to see a pullback to the 20 MA on the SPY, but that is a pretty significant pullback. Oh, I think I lost some Wi-Fi here. Yeah, I did. Let's see. Yeah. Did I lose? Am I back on?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I figured that much. Okay, so needless to say, did you guys hear my game plan on SPY though?
And he's gone again.
Did you hear my game plan on SPY or no?
Yeah, sell at 415, pretty much at the open.
Okay, cool.
The closing price I'm in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's my SPY game plan. Sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi is really terrible. So, okay, another stock, MO. MO is getting beat. Yesterday, news came out that the Biden administration is apparently considering regulations to reduce the amount of nicotine in their products. You could see yesterday had a significant pullback, and today it's pulling pretty badly. On the daily, the RSI is at 32.77, so this is really yanking hard. I could see some basing. Maybe the stock can find some basing here at like around 45. I see some support back in February and early March before it had that big breakout. So let's see how MO trades today. I would not short it right out of the gates because look at this significant pull is already having in pre-market. I would prefer a pop, and if it does fail that pre-market low, then we can look to short it. But MO is definitely in action today, and I like it. Another name I'm going to keep a close eye on is Apple. Why? Apple has their product event today, and it is later in the afternoon. There are rumors apparently, but it's not like, from what I've understood, there's not like a lot of base on these rumors, but there's a lot of speculation that they could give some information about the Apple Car. If they do, I think, and if it's exciting news, I think Apple could go on a rip. Look at the daily setup. The daily setup is a bull flag. So if you think about it, if Apple's event turns out to be really, really good, and let's say they give out some really cool news about the Apple Car or whatever the case may be, you could see this stock just break out. Apple is going to be on watch today for me. So I really, really like the setup on the daily chart. As for the pre-market action, look, keep it simple, right? If it breaks out of this like 135 range, yeah, go long. Maybe you might test the pre-market high of 135.18, but we really have to wait and see how the Apple event turns out. If Apple starts to sell off and just starts dumping, which has happened in the past during Apple events, look to short it if it breaks below like 134.50, 134.30, around that range. Okay, so that's my game plan for Apple. Another stock that I've got on watch here is FSR. So FSR got a nice price target upgrade from Bank of America, $31. That's suggesting over a 100% upside on this stock. Look at the daily chart on this. Beaten down. This thing has gotten oversold. With the pre-market data currently, the RSI just popped above 30. I think this stock could potentially even be a nice swing on an oversold condition. Bank of America giving it a $31 price target. It is a 12-month price target. They're not saying it's going to be $31 next week. But I could see the stock get a nice bid on it and potentially, test the daily 8MA, which is at almost $14, and then maybe even the 200, 15 range. So I really, really like this. I'm going to go in this one, and if we get a nice breakout, I'm going to go in pretty heavy on this one. I think this is a nice risk reward on this stock. Another stock I'm going to keep on close watch is Coin. Why? Options contracts become available for Coin today. So that means we can short it, we can go long, do everything that we do. So I'm going to keep a very close eye on it. If Coin breaks out of like the 336 range, we could possibly go long. Throw our stops to like 333, yesterday's closing price, just for a nice day trade. Maybe if it breaks out, but if Coin fails and starts breaking below like 329, we can get some puts on it and trade it to the downside. So I'm just excited to trade Coin on a options basis. One other name, I'm gonna keep an eye on the pot stocks. It's really stupid. There's nothing fundamental, but because today's 420, you might get a little pop in the pot stocks. But honestly, any pop I see in the pot stocks, I'm gonna short it. It's really no fundamental news on it. So I think they could just fade out. One other name, and then I'm gonna pass on to Taj, is Futu. Futu. Yesterday, Futu had an incredible day, and then they issued a price offering. They're diluting the shares. So now you had yesterday, the stock closed at 177.92. It's trading at 163 right now. So I hope none of us in here were long Futu and overnighted it, because this is pretty bad damage. So if Futu, the way I see it, if Futu begins to sell off and wants to break pre-market lows, I'm going to short it. If we do get a pop in it, I would say we've got to see it kind of reclaim the 164, 165 range, right? If we want to bounce it and then put stops at like 163, just keep it tight just in case if the pop fails. So, and FSR is getting a bid right now, so I'm actually going to set up to probably buy some in pre-market. So with that being said, let me pass it on to Taj.
Yeah, so a couple other names I'm keeping an eye on. One is going to be Tesla. Tesla just had a price target upgrade actually of 820, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, price target upgrade from 775 to 820. And Tesla from the actual technical setup on the daily chart, formed a nice bottoming tail bar yesterday off of that 8 MA. It actually came very close to testing the 20 MA. But as of late, over the past week or so, Tesla, the 8 MA has really served as some strong support. So especially if we see Tesla start to break up above yesterday's high, 725, and if somehow the market, catches a bounce off of its 8 MA, the S&P, the Qs, and a lot of names start rallying, keep a very close eye on Tesla. I think this is one that could run. The technical setup is there. The good news is there. Elon Musk is really come out to defend the company from the incident that occurred, saying that the autopilot, feature wasn't enabled at that time. So, there's a lot of, I guess, more positive. There's more positive news today compared to, what's happened over yesterday. So definitely keep an eye on Tesla, especially if the market is strong. As for the setup right now, it did just break out of a consolidation here around 712. So we are going to have to be patient for an entry. But let's see if we can get a surge in Tesla and maybe look for a continuation play. Or we could wait for it to test yesterday's highs and look for a play around there. With that being said, another name I want to keep an eye on is NIO. The main reason, I didn't see any news regarding NIO today. It's more so the technical setup. I think NIO is at a very important zone right now. You have a lot of the moving averages converging on one another here. You have the daily 200 MA, the daily 8 MA, and the daily 20 MA. You also have the Bollinger Bands squeezing in here on price action. So I think NIO is going to erupt here soon. Whether it's to the upside or the downside, I don't know. I will say that these lows on NIO have been holding very strongly. Pretty much this range of around $32 to $34. It has not given up. Tested $34 2 days ago, held that. Yesterday we tried to dip, low of 35, 36, and we popped right back up to the highs by the close. So that, as of now, NIO looks like it really wants to hold this daily 200 MA. So we could potentially have a swing play occurring here. I may even hop in on this sometime soon, especially if we start trading back above the 20 MA on the daily chart. We have not traded above the daily 20 MA since February 10th on NIO. So keep a very close eye on this, not only for day trading, but for a swing trade. As for the daily setup, it is consolidating here between a range, pretty much around $36.60 and $37. So if we can see NIO really clear $37, I think we're going to test yesterday's highs. At least pre-market highs around $37.50. But I think we can definitely test yesterday's highs. If we break out above yesterday's highs, I think that's when we can see NIO go on a run, test $38, and then after that, there's no resistance until $39.33. So NIO is another name I'll be keeping an eye on. Virgin Galactic Space. We mentioned it yesterday slightly as it was testing that key area of 24. It did finally break that 24 level. Actually, it broke it right at the market open. And then just sold off the entire day. And then closed at $22.46, and now we're gapping down again. Virgin Galactic was the stock that we were talking about. If it breaks that that $24 level, this thing is going to be in trouble, and I think that's what's happening right now. So I want to keep a close eye on Virgin Galactic again, in case the selling pressure does continue. The daily RSI is at 28, so it is, in that oversold territory. However, remember the news that came out with Virgin Galactic. You had, some of the biggest advocates, the biggest bag holders, sell their shares in Virgin Galactic. So, I think there's a good chance this can continue to the downside. So if Virgin Galactic starts to break down below 2050 again, we can look for another short. Maybe test that pre-market low. And if it breaks that, this thing can come down. I think the next support level we had was around $17. Now, if Virgin Galactic does start to reach $17, I may consider, even buying it at that price. But as of now, I think there's more room to the downside on Virgin Galactic. Another name, where is this? Another name. Oh, Nike. Also want to keep an eye on Nike. Nike actually had a downgraded price target by Citigroup. They adjusted their price target to 140 from 160. I was reading, I guess there's some concerns about some of their dealings in China, and then I guess the future of that. So because of that, Nike closed yesterday at 132.57. We're gapping down to about 130.50, and it is on relatively low volume, but the thing to look at on Nike is the actual technical setup. It's been trending below the 8 MA and the 20 MA here for the past few weeks, and it looks like it wants to continue to the downside, possibly even test the daily 200 MA. So if Nike starts to break down below 130, we can definitely look for a short. We could throw our stops around 130.50, 130.60 to see if we can have continuation to the downside. There is no support on Nike until the daily 200. Here, I guess there's a little gap window around 129, but essentially we'd be breaking that price if it breaks the low day. But there's really no support until around 127. So this has plenty of room to the downside, and I think especially if the market's weak today, you can definitely see Nike start to take a beating. Obviously, Alex already went over the SPYs, so I'm not going to really go over that too much. But I pretty much have the same game plan with my swings. If it does break back above that, for pretty much the closing price around 415, I'll sell my puts. I'll take my profit. But if we get a push back down to the downside, and we start dipping below that 8 MA, there's really no support until around 410, 411. I'll probably look to take my profit right around then. I think holding on past anything, past 410, 411, you might be getting a little greedy because we are in a pretty strong market here. So just be mindful of that with a lot of the swing plays. But other than that, main plays I'll be watching out of the gate: NEO, the S&P, Apple. I really like that Apple setup, and the coin because of the options trading that's going to be available. For coin, there are only I checked this morning. There are only monthly contracts available. So the closest date to expiration is 31 days away. So the contracts are going to be a little more expensive than what we're accustomed to. So just keep that in mind when trading coin.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. By the way, FSR broke out and it's flagging right here. So just careful at the open, guys, trying to chase it. At this point, I would prefer, if you're not in it already, I already took my profits, but I would prefer a slight pullback, maybe a bottoming tail bar setup, and then we go long, with FSR, because it's done a pretty good amount, like $1.50. So Marcos, yeah, you got it. Okay, excellent. Yeah, you almost did the exact same thing I did. So I went in with a couple thousand shares and took my easy money. So I'm just gonna wait to play it again. But yeah, I think today's gonna be a nice day. Hopefully the SPY pulls, man. I would love to still hold on to those puts. I've kind of grown emotionally attached to shorting the S&P. So with that being said, for everyone on YouTube, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later with the trade of the day.